So welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday. Um, my thought for you is on the concept of bowing. And lately I've been getting back into mantra, you could say. Not that I ever got out of it, but I've been getting back into really letting the mantra be something that moves you from the inside. And I see a lot, right? That there's the concept that you use mantras to accomplish a purpose, or that you use mantras to try to make something happen. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think it misses some of the point. It misses a little bit of what mantra really is, because it's not quite the same as just repeating something over and over again, or repeating a thought, or repeating an affirmation. Is a mantra is a living energy, right? It's an energy that is just an expression of a state within that we don't have a simple word for, right? That's what the mantra is. And the mantra is a way to bring us back to that state, right? To bring that state into fullness in us. So the idea that a mantra is somehow like an incantation, that you're going to say it over and over and it's going to make something happen, works well with our mind that likes to make things happen or think that it's making things happen, but it misses that deeper meaning. So many mantras, if you actually look at them and what they actually translate to, is they include this word namo or nama, which both forms mean the same thing, but it means to bow. All right, so the mantra itself, as you're repeating it, or the energy held within the mantra itself as you're repeating it, is that concept of bowing, is that you are actually placing yourself within that greater energy, right? So it's actually a letting go of a sense that there's any resistance between you, your normal self, and what the energy of that mantra is, the reality of that mantra is, right? So that concept of bowing is coming up as being very important to me, because the idea that you can not put up so much resistance against the world, you can not put up so much resistance to whatever comes towards you, right? It's not coming at you, it's coming towards you. And if we don't put up walls, we don't put up boundaries, we don't push back, then we start to actually receive everything that's there. But our habit is to immediately push back, right? That's what our mind is kind of trained to do. It says, this is the way I believe that it is. And if something comes at me, I'm going to push that forward first, and I filter, right? So mantra practice is one of those things that gets us out of that state of mind of trying to maintain things. And instead is much more of that fluid energy of I'm placing myself within something bigger, right? I'm allowing something bigger or something different to expand in me. So my thought for you is that practicing of bowing, even just the concept, if I don't put up so much resistance against the world as it's moving towards me, right? Or as I'm moving through it, I don't put up so much resistance, and I'm able to receive more. So bowing is, whether it's bowing to the guru, or it's bowing to your own inner self, or it's bowing to God, or it's bowing to whatever it is that you would like to place yourself within as a reality. It's letting go of that sense of resistance, that there's any difference between how you think of yourself, your own image of yourself, and the reality of whatever that presence is that you're bowing to, right? So the release of resistance, can you let yourself do that in your practice? In a comfortable seat if you're not there already. And if you're not, if you don't habitually work with mantra, I highly, highly recommend it. And again, remembering that the mantra is not the same as if I just repeat it. It's not an equation. If I repeat it over and over again, I'm going to get a result. But it's an energy that if you bring it forward in you over and over again, is it will feel like it is your own self, right? It's no longer I'm reaching for peace, or I'm reaching for love, or I'm reaching for loving kindness. It becomes that that's simply what I am. So with eyes closed, whatever you dearly, dearly wish for, right? Whatever are the goals of your practice, why you do asana, why you do meditation, why you do breath work, why you even attempt yoga, all of those things that you dearly wish for, can you start to bring it in, to receive it as though it is already you? The mantra is the living energy, but it's just an expression. You don't need the mantra in order to bring into yourself or bring up through yourself those realities that you're seeking. Mantras are a way in. Your breath is a way in. Every single practice that you're given is a way in. But what allows that energy to live and stay is when there's no resistance in its way. So your dearest wish, and you bring it in and really receive it. No resistance. I already am the peace that I seek. I already am the love that I want. I already am the abundance or the joy or the prosperity. I already am the sanity that the world is needing. I am that with no effort. It means to receive. I don't seek, I'm simply open. Deep, deep breaths in and know what your dearest wishes are. And I guarantee if you seek a mantra that fits with your dearest wish, the mantra will come to you. You don't have to look through books and pick it. Place the mind at the feet of that bigger desire or that bigger wish. Place your mind within the context, the reality of that bigger desire, that bigger wish. So that when it stares at itself, all it sees reflected back is the peace, the love, compassion, friendship, whatever your wish is. One more breath deeply in, exhaling all the way out. Bringing hands together in front of the heart, palm to palm. Open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. With the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. Bring your hands to the front of your knees or your thighs and begin to circle your torso, making nice big spirals. You know, it said that, again, most mantras, at least from the Indian tradition, begin with Om, end with Om. And it's not just a, cute thing that they do, is the purpose behind that is that Om is the root of all mantra. Right? Any mantra that is more complicated, has more words, has more syllables, has more sound, it all originates from Om. Om includes all of them. So if you don't know what mantra to use, you use Om, because it will bring forth whatever is necessary, whatever is most needed, right, to fulfill that wish that you have, to fulfill the reality that you're seeking. Good, move yourself the other way, please. So Om is the beginning and the end and everything in between. But even with Om, you have to give yourself over to it, that it's the vessel that carries you. So it becomes not so much that you are making the sound of Om, but that you are allowing yourself to vibrate the sound of Om that is already happening. Good, come back to stillness, please. Do a couple of breaths, hands on the knees, cat and cow. Just move your spine forward and back. Yep, get all the yawns out. Good. Nice, you guys. And then come back to stillness, please. Just bring your legs out in front of you. So still seated, but legs out in front of you. Separate your feet as wide as your mat, knees bent. Good, fingertips can come behind you, and so knees bent up on your feet. Windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Just let the knees drop to the right and then to the left. Do that a couple of times so the legs are going same direction. Good, feet nice and wide. Yeah. Nice. And the next time your knees drop to the right, let them stay dropped to the right. Walk your torso around that same direction so that you are facing the back of your mat. And come on down to your forearms. So you're coming into a little twisted variation there. So down on the forearms, lower if you want. If you want to drop all the way down onto your belly, or even take your elbows wide and let the chest come lower, you can do that. If you have a bolster or something super handy and you want to lay on the bolster, that's the most luxurious way to do this position. But the point is, I just want you to breathe long through that side body. I want you to breathe long through how the chest and the side ribs meet with your hips. hips meet with your torso. I bow. Wherever I believe that I have hit the end of my abilities, I place myself at the beginning of something else. It said we bow our heads to the lotus feet of the teachers, or we bow our heads to the lotus feet of the gods, of whoever we see in that space, whoever we see as that guidance. You place yourself at the beginning of something else. One more breath, breathe deep into whole back body. Good, and slowly bring yourself all the way back up to center, please. Nice, bring the bottoms of your feet together, let your knees drop wide. Good, yeah. And then walk the hands forward, please. Take a forward fold. So move the fingers forward instead of holding your feet, walk yourself out forward. Good, sending your groins down. Reach back through your sit bones, extend out through your chest. Good, you got it. Long arms, please, because those long arms, I want you to breathe through the length of your arms, through the outer armpits, all the way down to the hip. Good. Nice, you guys, one more breath. Then walk your hands back in, please. Good, bring your knees back up to face the ceiling. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Drop your knees all the way to the left. And then walk yourself around same direction as your knees until you face the back of your mat. Come on down onto your forearms. Good, at the moment, I cannot remember the name of this twist, but it's named for a sage, if I recall. Beautiful. So even that, the embodiment that you have through your asana, is don't just do it and say, well, there's a fancy name for it and I don't know why. Right? Every posture, every mantra, every breathing technique is a way to bring the mind into focus that it already is. It already is all the things you wish it to be. I bow to the reality of my goodness instead of my challenges. I bow to the reality of my perfection instead of constantly seeking out where I have what I think is wrong. It's really the whole practice of yoga is I bow to my own inner perfection. I don't argue that it's there. And I keep bowing to it until my mind understands what that perfection is and there's no more resistance to it. One more breath, breathe through those side ribs all the way through that outer thigh. Good, and then come back up to center, please. Again, bringing the bottoms of the feet together, let your knees drop wide. I know, we'll move a little faster soon so you guys stay awake. Walk your hands forward, forward fold. Now like 3 or 4 of you that are yawning, and it can't be contagious through Zoom. It doesn't work that way. So forward fold. And the rest of you are being awake for cats. One more breath. Draw back on the fingertips and lift your chest higher. So pull back on the arms, pull your spine long. That's it. And then release, walk the hands back in, roll forward to hands and knees, please. Come all the way up to a kneeling position, so a high kneeling position. Carolina, if you want to face forward, you can. Good, take the right leg out wide to the right. It's in line with your left knee. Good, take the arms out wide. Good, try and make sure again that those hip points are level with each other. Right arm slides down the right leg, left arm extends over the ear. Good, squeeze that right foot and the left knee towards each other and then slide that right hand even further. Good, draw the navel in, push out through that left rib cage. So really exaggerate that space between your ribs. Good, and then keep that left arm where it is. Float the right arm up and point it straight out from your chest. So your arms are crisscrossed. So that underneath arm is reaching straight forward from your chest. Yeah, you got it, Mark. That's it. Good, Anju. Nice, and then really reach a little longer. Good. And then bring it all the way back up to center, please. Nice. Inhale the arms up. Interlace your fingers. Press heels of the hands to the sky. Good. Pull, pull, pull. Long, long, long. Good. And then lean the other direction. Lean to your left. Yep. Good. Really push out through the hands. Push out through your side ribs. Push, 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 push. Good. And then left hand drops down to the floor. Right arm continues to extend. If you need a block underneath that hand, you can use a block there. Good. Nice, nice. And then that left hand, as long as it's touching something, lean onto that left hand a little bit more. Float your right leg up parallel to the floor. Lift it up in line with your hip. That's it. Good. And still long, long ribs. Keep pushing through that left rib cage, right rib cage. Nice, you guys. And then bring that foot back down to the floor, please. Come all the way back up. Good. And then switch the leg. So right knee comes down to the floor, left leg goes wide. Good. Heel in line with the right knee, arms wide. Good. Slide the left hand down the left leg, right arm over the ear. And there's still that drawing in. So there's a drawing in of the extended leg towards the supporting knee. There's a pressing down through your right shin. Good. And then lean a little bit more. Take the left hand down the leg a little bit further. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. If you take your hand further, you'll go further. It's not that you can't. It's just you placed your hand where you feel safer. So move your hand further away. You'll go further. Good. And then maintain that. Hug in. Float that left arm up underneath you so it comes straight out from your chest. Crisscross the arms. Good. And keep leaning as far to the left as you already were. Good. Nice, nice, nice. And then come all the way, but really good, Anju. Come all the way back up, arms wide. Good. Stretch the arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Press heels of the hands up towards the ceiling. And then lean to the right. So go the other way, away from the extended leg. Push out. Good. And I want you to really try and move your ribs further to the right. So you're actually moving your right rib cage in space and drawing your left rib cage in, but then still push up from that inner left thigh. That's it. Right hand drops down to the floor or a block. Good. Left arm can come up to the sky or over the ear, whichever you prefer. I'm really okay with either. Nice. And then as long as that right hand is touching something stable, float that left leg up parallel to the floor. Good. Nice, you guys. And really lift from that inner thigh. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Release that foot back to the floor. Please come all the way back up to center. Good. Bring both knees underneath the hips. Good. Hands to your lower back. Toes can be tucked under here or flat, coming into camel pose. So lifting the chest nice and wide. Hug those upper arms towards each other, but then pull your ribs in and send your buttocks flesh down. So you're actually lifting the front edge of your pelvis and lengthening your tail. And then hinge back. So try not to go into the arch at first. Move your butt back towards your heels so you get that stretch in your thighs. Navel in, hollow. Pull those hip points in and up. And then bring your collarbones up to the sky and find that reach of the heart. Good. But I want that low belly drawing in and up, in and up, in and up. And then rotate the shoulder blades and lift. And then float the hands down to the feet if you want, or stay exactly where you are. Good. One more breath. You got it. And then bring it all the way back up, navel to spine. Beautiful. Drop your hips back to your heels, please. Before you come forward, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers at the low spine. You can move your knees a little wider if you'd like. Bring your forehead to the floor. Good. And then round up onto the crown of the head. Lift the arms up and over any amount. So a little bowing hair pose, a bowing child's pose. Good. So you're squeezing those upper arms, trying not to bang your head on the floor. And then release the hands back down, please. Release the hips, come up to hands and knees, and come back to downward facing dog. Nice, guys. Yeah. Right leg comes up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Open, open, open. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. One more breath. Lift and open. And then bring the knee facing down. Step that foot forward between the hands. Lunge. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Cartwheel the arms up. Warrior two. Yabadasana. Good. Take the left hand down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Nice. And then keeping that right arm where it is, bend the elbow, take the hand back behind your heart. Good. Reach the left arm up to reach the tip of that elbow. So you're giving the upper arm a little bit more of a stretch. Good. And I like it because now you're not relying on that back hand to support the reach of your side body. So send that right knee forward a little bit more. Squeeze your feet towards each other. That's it. And then come all the way back up to center, arms wide, still in warrior two. Stretch, take the arms back behind you, interlace your fingers at the low back. Good. Front knee is still bent. Twist your ribs to face forward and then bow inside the front thigh, taking the arms up and over any amount again. Good. Squeeze that right butt cheek in. Send your left outer hip slightly forward. Good. Nice, Sandy. Good, Sarah. One more breath, you guys. Go a little deeper. Drop your head to the floor. There you go. And then release the hands down to the floor. Good job. Spin your back heel up, please. Left hand stays where it is. Right arm to the sky. Spinal twist. Good. Deep breath. Open chest. Wide, wide, wide open chest. Yeah. And then release that hand down to the floor, please. Drop the back knee. Yep. Inhale the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Good. Bring the hands back behind your head, please. Squeeze those elbows in just a little bit and then lifting the chest, dropping again, head back into your hands like you're still doing camel pose. So there's still that feeling of lifting through the front edge of your pelvis, drawing those low ribs in, and then letting your chest rotate up to the sky. So you can imagine here that you're leaning back far enough that just like camel, you could take your hands back to that back ankle. Try and feel that. Don't actually move your hands, but just try and feel that. Good. Come all the way back up, arms to the sky. Beautiful. Good. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Both hands inside the front foot. Flex your right foot a lot. Drop the knee wide, coming into that open, almost the pigeon position. Good. Nice, you guys. And then left hand plants right arm to the sky. Take your twist here. And optional, if it's available, bend that back knee, kick your heel in, and reach back for the foot or the ankle. Good. Nice, you guys. Don't get tense. Remember, the whole idea here is to notice how much resistance you put up to what comes towards you. As you move as deeply into the pose as you want or don't want. But if you put up resistance mentally, physically, you're not going to receive what the pose has. Good. Slowly release, please. Both hands come back to the floor. Take that right foot back to flat. Lift the back knee. Good. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Pedal your feet if you'd like. Good. And then steady yourself, downward facing dog. I want you to feel yourself squeezing your feet and your hands towards each other. So you're actually pulling in. And then I want you to draw your low ribs in, puff out the back of your rib cage away from your thighs and pull the tops of your thighs back. So the hands and the feet, the extremities are pulling in, but that middle section of ribs and thighs are pushing away. Good. And then maintain that. Left leg comes up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. So you want the hips to stay high, but I don't want all of your weight to be falling into your hands here because you've lifted one leg. So I want you to keep that squeezing and the pulling up, the lifting up through your hips. Beautiful. Bring that left knee to face the floor, step the left foot between the hands, lunge. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels the back of your mat, cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Watch that front knee doesn't send itself rolling in, so move it a little wide towards the second toe. Good, Laura. A little more, Mark. Good. Right hand drops down the back thigh, please. Left arm comes up to the sky, reverse warrior. Good. Lifting from your hip point, so that left hip point has to lift up a little higher, and then your thigh can descend a little deeper. Good. Bend the left elbow, place the hand behind your heart, so that's the arm that's in the air. Right hand comes up to hold the tip of the elbow, so you get a little longer reach through your armpit. Good. You can send that left knee forward a little more. Beautiful. Nice. And then bring your arms back up to center, please. Back to warrior two. Good. Reach behind you, interlace the fingers at the low spine. Turn your ribs to face forward, back heel stays flat. And then bow inside the front thigh, lifting the arms up and over any amount. So it's a bowing warrior two. Good. Keep that left hip pulling back and in. Knee pointing towards second or third toe. A little more, Crystal. Widen that knee. Yeah, towards the baby toe, not your heel. Move your knee. Pull your butt in. There you go. Good, you guys. Better. Good. Release the hands down to the floor. Really nice, you guys. Spin your back heel up. Right hand plants, left arm to the sky, spinal twist. Yeah, so there's a progression, right? I'm choosing these opportunities where you get to open and close and open and close and open and close. So when you open, can you really open with no resistance? And when you release, can you really release with no resistance? Left hand back down to the floor. Good. Drop your back knee. Inhale the arms up. Anjaneyasana. All right. It's like this is the bowing practice. Every time I lift, I'm opening myself to that reality. As I'm reaching for and I'm opening to accepting the goodness that I am, the greatness that is there, the abundance that is present. Good. Hands behind your head. Hug the elbows in just a little bit. And then again, like you're reaching for camel, it's coming all the way from your thigh. Drag that right thigh forward. Lift your hip points up. Move your ribs back in space. Then let your head fall back into your hands as you lift your collarbones to the sky. So you're suspended from your sternum, right? There's no weight pressing down on your low back because you're suspended from your chest. Good. Come all the way back up. Arms to the sky. And release the hands down to the floor. Nice job. Both hands inside the front foot. Flex the left foot a lot. Drop onto the baby toe. Let the knee go wide. Right hand stays where it is. Left arm to the sky. And so the twist might be simply as open as you need to go. If you want to, and it's available, bend that right knee. Kick your heel in. Reach back left hand for the foot or the ankle. So you're taking the twisting quad stretch. Good. But stay open. Beautiful, you guys. Throat back. And then slowly release. Good. Take that foot to the floor, lift the back knee, come back downward facing dog. I see nothing but a cat face. Cat ear. Good. Pedal your feet from side to side. Nice, you guys. And then steady your feet, steady your hands. Good. Take the right leg up and back, down dog split. Step that foot forward between the hands, lunge. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat. Good, cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Beautiful. Drop the right forearm onto the front thigh, left arm comes over the ear, side angle. Good. Keep reaching through that left arm. Squeeze the feet towards each other. Take the right arm up off of your thigh. Stretch it out straight in front of your chest so your arms are crisscrossed again. So that underneath arm pushes forward. And rotate your ribs to the sky. Pull your left ribs up, 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 up. I know this is a lot of work on your legs. Good. Nice. And then bring it back to warrior two for a moment. Cartwheel the arms wide. Good. And then straighten the front thigh. Drop the left hand down the back thigh. Right arm reaches up and back. Reverse warrior. Or reverse triangle, I should say. Good. And then bring yourself back up to center, please. Bend the right knee again. And from this position, extend that right arm forward like you're going to reach for triangle, but instead reach yourself all the way out, come into half moon. So step off of that back leg, reach that right arm forward and down to the floor or a block, and come into Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Right, we get into the habit of trying to get there from close to the floor because that feels safe. But part of this experience of letting yourself really rest in an energy that is bigger is that it might not feel normal, right? There's that moment of suspension. There's that moment of the crossing over of I don't know how to go from the way that I was to the way that I might be. And you're never going to know how to do it. You just allow it to happen. That's meditation. I allow it to happen. Bend that top leg, please, left leg. Squeeze the heel in. Reach back for the foot or the ankle, or just take your hand to your lower back and open your chest. Maybe reaching the foot doesn't make any sense. Good. Beautiful. Extend all the way back out to half moon. Beautiful. Step all the way back to warrior two. So step yourself back with the expectation that you are just as light as you were when you started. Good. Straighten that right leg again, please. Turn the toes so that they parallel your left toes. So you're in a wide-legged stance. Take your right arm up to the sky. Bend the elbow, place the hand behind your heart. Left arm is still extended wide. Turn the palm to face back. Point those fingers down towards the floor, and then bend the elbow, reaching up, maybe to find your own fingertips. Maybe you can use a strap or a block there. Maybe you just press your hands into your back wherever they happen to be. Good. Draw your rib cage back and in. Draw your throat back. Nice. And then maintain that from your pelvis. Send your inner thighs back, bow, forward, forward, fold. At some point, you're going to want to round your upper back. I want you to resist that. Right? I know I said no resistance, but I want you to stay in a state where you are really receiving what the pose is giving you, which means don't go into what's comfortable or habitual. Try and keep that lift through your upper spine. Good. The openness of your upper back, your shoulders. Awesome. Nice, you guys. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Good job. Walk your hands straight ahead. Come into that wide-legged downward facing dog. Good. Go as far forward as you can go. I know some of you are in furniture, but do your best to walk yourself forward. Good. On the inside, how much resistance do you place between what you think you are and what you are wishing for? And the sounds of the mantra, the sounds of Om, are meant to bridge that gap so that what you see internally when you look at yourself is not separate from, different from, less than your concept of what the eternal self is, what the divine self is. Walk your hands back in, please. Walk back towards the top of your mat. Right toes spin forward. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push-up. Squeezing the hands and the feet towards each other in planks, that you have this real sense of power going up into that center place of your body. Good. And then you're lifting your chest a little higher, almost like you're trying to do a little up dog. So you're lifting your chest higher. Good. And you're dragging your hands back. Beautiful. And then lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need, all the way down to your belly. Really good, Crystal. Very good, Jessica, too. Rise up, head, neck, and chest, cobra pose. Good. Pressing into your feet, into your shins. Again, like you intend to come into upward facing dog, but you're not going to. You're just going to push down through your legs with a real intention to get stronger there. Good. And then downward facing dog. Good, Jessica. Really nice. Nice, you guys. Left leg comes up and back, down dog split. Reach out through that heel, but don't drop your ribs. Keep your armpits forward. And then step that left foot between the hands, lunge. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Good. Left forearm to your front thigh, right arm comes over the ear. Nice. Finding that squeezing together of the feet, the reaching through the right arm. Float the left arm up off of your thigh, crisscross the arms, so the left arm is extending straight from the chest, and you're rotating your right ribs to the sky. Good, Susan. Nice, Heidi. Beautiful, you guys. Bring the arms all the way back out wide, warrior two. Good. Straighten your front thigh. Drop the right hand down the back leg. Left arm reaches up and back. So again, using that as an opportunity that you're lifting that left hip point, that you're making as much space with that left side body as you possibly can. Good. And then come all the way back up, please. Arms wide, bend the left knee again. And then from there, you're going to push off of that back leg, reach your left rib cage forward, and let that hand touch down to the floor or a block. Ardha Chandrasana. The more hang time you can have in the air before that hand has to touch something, the better. Good. If you're like, there is no hang time, I find my grip of my hand and then I move. That's okay too. Good. Open the chest to the sky. You got it. You got to push your hips to the sky, you guys. If you're not pushing from your pelvis, your legs are going to have to do way more work. Too much work. Good. Bend that top knee. Squeeze the heel in towards your butt. Reach back for the foot or the ankle or hand at your lower back. If you're thinking this is way too long to expect anyone to hold Ardha Chandrasana, it's not. I want you to let go of the idea that holding is the point and just let yourself be completely in the pose. Good. Extend all the way back out. Nice. Step all the way back to warrior two. Nice. Yeah. I didn't say gracefully, so, if it wasn't graceful, it's all right. Straighten that front leg, please. Turn your left toes same direction as your right, wide leg. And then left arm comes to the sky. Bend the elbow, place the hand behind your heart. Right arm is still extended wide. Turn your palm to face back and then point those right fingers down to the floor. Bend the elbow and reach up to either find your fingertips of the other hand, maybe use a strap if you have one, or just press the hands against your spine and press your spine back against your hands. Good, that's the key, is that the tops of your thighs move back, your ribs move back, your throat moves back. Good, and then begin to bow forward from your pelvis. Send your front of the pelvis forward, inner thighs back. Keep your spine as long as you can. So at some point, the left elbow is going to fall forward. Your back is going to want to round. Lift that elbow tip a little higher. Good. Press up through the back of your throat. Try to keep that space at your upper back. Nice. Move your hips forward as much as you can. So Sarah, move your hips forward more. Even if it feels like you're going to fall on your head, move forward. There you go. Awesome, you guys. Breathe into your hands. The back of your heart breathes into your hands. And if you weren't breathing at all, that was your reminder. Good. Release the hands back down to the floor, please. Nicely done. Beautiful, you guys. Good. Bend your knees, please. Drop your hips a little lower, thighs back. So knees in line with ankles, butt back. And then hands walk forward, extend. Good. On your fingertips, do a little cat-cow. Drop your hips a little lower, Sandy. Again. Good. Inner knees press wide. Good. Good. You got it, Anju. Just bend those knees a little deeper. Good. You guys come back to stillness, please. Stretch the legs to straight. Push your hips up to the sky. And then walk your hands back in and bow deeply. Good. And then walk back towards the top of your mat. Turn the toes forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Nice. And then slide forward to plank, again with that feeling that you are squeezing the hands and the feet towards each other. And then lifting again from the back of your throat, lift your ribs up, 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 lift your chest up, 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 like you're coming into upward facing dog. So you're actively dragging forward and starting to tilt the collarbones up. Good. Pull up, pull up, pull up, lift your chest. Find that arch of the upper spine, but don't drop the legs. That's it. Beautiful. And then back to neutral, please. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need, all the way to your belly. Good. Rise up, cobra. Lift head, neck, and chest. Good. Pressing into your shins, pressing into your feet. Good. Rising up from the tops of your thighs, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Good. Shorten your dog just a little bit, please. So walk the feet a little bit closer in, just a little bit. And then your right hand is going to come just a little bit more center. So same line of your hands, just a little bit more center. Left hand reaches back and under you for your right ankle. So left hand to right ankle. Good. And then again, you're opening the chest nice and wide. So you're looking underneath that right armpit, but you're still drawing your hips back. Good. Nice. A little more weight on your left foot there, Sarah. Yep. Nice, Susan. Nice, Crystal. Good. Come back to center, please. Switch the hand so that left hand is going to come more center. Right hand reaches back for the left ankle. Good. If you can reach for the outer ankle, that is the sort of, gives you the most twist. Might be the easiest place to reach for. Look underneath that armpit. Try to keep the hips level. Open, open, open. Good. And then release that hand back to the floor, please. Good deep breath in, and then drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. The only mantra that there is Om. The only practice that there really is bowing. The only truth that we really come to see is that that inner version, that inner image that we have of ourselves is distorted. That's the truth that we're given from the very beginning of the yoga practice, is that how you see yourself inside every day habitually is distorted. It's a foggy mirror. The practices are designed to help you to clear up that image, to help it come back into focus, because it's just blurry because it's out of focus. Walk to the right hand corner, please, of your mat over your right thigh. Things like mantra are a already living energy and already moving vibration that you can align yourself with, that you can become united with, so that you see yourself a little bit more clearly. Again, if it's a mantra for compassion, it's so you see yourself as compassion, know yourself as compassion. Walk back to center and go to your left. If it's a mantra for wisdom, it's so that you know yourself as that wisdom. You know yourself to already be that. It awakens what's already there inside of you. It brings into focus. This is what I think of myself, and this is the reality of myself. And when there's no more resistance between those two, there's no more friction, then we're at peace. We're not looking for anything other. Come back to center, please. Come back up to hands and knees. Good. All the way up to that high kneeling position. Take your hands back onto your hips. Another camel pose. So again, toes can be tucked or not. Good. And then hands can be at the low back or behind the head. Another variation if you like hands behind the head. But have the hands somewhere that you can actually feel the back of your body, so that you're aware of drawing into the back of your body. So camel is not a pushing forward. It's an elongating, and it's a puffing out of the back body to create the back bend. So send your low back into your hands, if that's where your hands are. Hinge back, please. So you feel it in your thighs first. Butt moves back towards your heels. Angle the thighs. Then scoop that low place of your belly. Pull in, rib cage in, and send your collarbones up to the sky like you're suspended from your sternum. Then you can find that reach through the rest of your spine. Drop the hands to your heels if you'd like, or keep your hands where they are. Good, but don't lose that feeling of I'm suspended from my chest. Good, and then navel to spine, come all the way back up. Nice job. Drop your hips back to your heels. Forehead to the floor, hands interlace at the low back. Roll up onto the crown of your head, stretch the arms up and over and in. Good. And then release all the way back down. Nice. Good, come to sit, take your legs out in front of you. Yep, bend your knees. Good. Toes to the floor, fingertips just behind you, on fingertips. Round into your back just a little bit so that you feel the fullness of your back rib cage. So hands should be behind you so you're not holding your knees. Good, round. So curl into your spine. Up on your tippy toes so your feet are not flat. You're up on your tippy toes. So you're finding your sit bones and then you're rounding your back. And then keep that fullness in your back ribs. Start to lift your chest a little higher. Pull those ribs in. Scoop from the lowest part of your belly. Good, and then pull your thighs into your hip socket. So really feel like you're squeezing in, and then float your feet up off the floor, come into both. Good. Hands can either stay where they are, and you can really work that feeling of pulling your thighs in and lifting long through your spine, or take the arms up as well. Good. If lifting the arms up means that you've fallen back behind that front edge of your sit bones and you're desperately trying to hold yourself in the balance, bring your hands back to the floor and find the strength of your thighs connecting to your pelvis, connecting to your abdominals. Because if you don't find that, boat's not going to get easier. One more breath where you are. Good. And then release the feet down to the floor. Good job, you guys. Good. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Knees are still bent. Feet on the floor. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Yep. Fingertips behind you. Yep. Lift your belly up towards your legs. So walk yourself in as much as you can. So not fire log, Laura. Yeah. So if your feet are flat on the floor, like you are going to go into boat, and ankle on top of knee, there you go. And then just walk yourself up. So you're still towards that front edge of your sit bones, you guys. You don't want to be on the fleshy part of your butt behind your sit bone. Roll forward so that your pelvis is in a good position. And then lift long through your spine. Good. And you can go as far forward into this as you want. Make sure that that foot is really flexed if you're going deep. And if you need it to go deeper, you want it to go deeper, pull your left heel closer in. Yeah. Fun, right? Good. Take one more breath where you are. Beautiful. And then release, please. Take both feet down to the floor. Good. Feet nice and wide. Windshield wiper the legs, right and left. You guys are working really hard. I needed a drink. And then come back up to center, please, and switch sides. So the feet are flat to the floor. Take your left ankle on top of your right thigh, or if that's what you did before, use the other leg. Good. And same thing, rolling forward towards the front edge of your sit bones. Lift your chest up. Good. Flex that foot. You're practicing that sensation of I'm not adding resistance to what's coming towards me. I'm not adding resistance to the sensation that's there. I'm watching how much this moment is either reinforcing the image I have of myself in my mind, or I'm watching how much this moment has no ability to create an image of myself in my mind. Because that's what we're practicing. When it says that we're going to that place of emptiness in this practice, right? Nirvana or samadhi or any of those are often described as empty. Doesn't mean there's nothing there, but it means there's not this state of trying to compare. There is no you that is going to stop this experience or to filter it. Sounds weird to say. There is no you. That's what you're working on. So lift your belly a little bit higher. Full sensation of this body and this mind. No resistance to it. Whatever your mental image of yourself is, allow it to release. Good. And then release that foot down to the floor. Let it go. Separate your feet nice and wide as your mat, but keep the knees bent. Come up on the heels. And then walk your hands straight forward in between the legs. So forward fold like you're drawing your knees back, almost like you're in a seated happy baby. Good. And then that right forearm, right shoulder comes inside your right. Take the left arm up to the sky, open. Yep, don't let your feet drop open too wide though. Keep your inner knees hugging in just a little bit. Good. And then release and switch. Left arm and shoulder inside of the left leg, right arm to the sky. Good. And then release that hand down to the floor. Beautiful. Walk your hands back up, please. And then stretch your legs out to straight. Feet can still be as wide as your mat, just straight legs. Good. Not super wide, just as wide as your mat. And then reach forward to find your ankles or your feet, something solid that you can reach for on your body. Good. Nice deep breath in. Send your butt back. So actively push back through your pelvis. Good. And feel the front edge of your pelvis moving forward. So the top edge of your pelvis is rolling forward and your tail is lifting up and back. Good. And then nice straight arms for a moment. Drag those arms into the shoulder socket. As you exhale, bend your elbows out wide, whatever you're holding, so you feel your chest is engaged. Forward fold. Elbows wide. Nice. Still tilting your pelvis forward. Good. And then release and come all the way back up. Nice, you guys. Bring your legs a little closer together, please. Bend your right knee. Bring it in towards your chest. Bottom of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Let the knee go wide. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Little twist to your left and then bow over the left leg. Power of that bowing. Place myself within something bigger. And I offer no resistance to it. Good. One more breath. And walk yourself back up, please. Good. Take that right knee up to face the ceiling. So foot is flat to the floor. Make sure that there's a little space between your right foot and your left thigh, so move it a little wider. And then you are reaching your right arm inside your right knee. So lean forward into a forward fold with that right arm in front or inside your knee, reaching forward, reaching forward. Both hands reach forward, extend forward. Good. And then the option here is you're going to walk your hands out wide like spider arms. Yep. And your upper arm is going to push back against that right shin. So your arms have to be in front of your shin. So come forward far enough. Yep. So that you can have those arms wide and push back against that shin. So you can either stay right here. Yeah, Caroline is doing it right. You can see what she's doing. You can either stay right here, or this is an option for a bind. That right arm wraps around the front of that bent knee. Your left arm wraps behind you. You hold hands behind your back. Good. You can go into a twist here if you'd like. Sometimes people like to open their chest open to the left. You can. Squeeze that knee in towards your side ribs. Good. If the bind doesn't make any sense, stay where you are and just work that spaciousness of your chest. Good. Drag back on the arms. Good. The interesting variations going on. Whatever you're doing is perfect. And then go ahead, slowly come on out. Nice, you guys. Good. Last opportunity, lift, still with the right leg. Lift that shin parallel to the floor, baby cradle. So hold the foot with your left hand on the outside edge, right hand to the knee. Move the leg from side to side. Yeah, chest lifted nice and high. Good. Beautiful. Good, and then come to stillness, and then you're gonna bring that right foot up into the top of your left thigh crease, as high up as it will go, up towards your left hip point, high up as it will go. So you wanna snuggle it into that crease where your left thigh meets your hip. Good, a little half lotus, right? So you want that foot to be toes flexed, so the ankle can be pointed, but the toes are flexed. You're snuggling that foot there, and then you're letting the knee drop wide. And maybe you put a block underneath that knee or something there to give it a little bit of support. Good. And then if this position feels pretty accessible, there's no pulling on the knee, it feels okay to be here, and you want to come into a forward fold, go ahead, walk your hands forward, forward fold. If sitting upright in this position is just plenty, stay where you are. If the knee really doesn't like this position, come back to the foot to the inside of the knee or of the thigh, let the knee go wide. Good. And come back to Janu Sirsasana. Opportunities. Nice, you guys flex that left foot, flex the toes of the right foot, especially if you're in half lotus. Good. And then slowly walk yourself all the way back up. Really nice. Bring that right knee wide to the right, especially if you're coming out of half lotus. And then stretch that leg out in front of you. Good, give the legs a little bit of a shake. I know the yawning, you're getting towards the end of class, relax. You can go to sleep in a second. Good. And then right leg stays extended. Please draw your left knee in. Bottom of the foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Let your knee go wide. Inhale the arms up. Little twist to your right and bow over the right thigh. So Janu Shirshasana. Nice and simple and comfortable and easy. Maybe not comfortable, but simple and easy. You've done it 1,000 times. Good. That bowing or that aligning yourself with something that is other than your own way of thinking. It's like that, right? Mantra, it said you have to repeat it over and over and over again for it to really become real for you. And its living value to become something that's a part of you. And it's just getting used to it. The mind likes things that it has repeated many times. It likes repetition. So instead of it repeating its usual thoughts about who you think you are, you give it another vibration to unite itself with. And that starts to draw your mind in the direction of recognizing your peace, your compassion, your loving kindness, your patience, your prosperity, your whatever it is that you are wishing for. Already there. Just get used to it. That's what bowing is. I get used to it. I give up my resistance for something else. Walk yourself back up. Good. Take that left knee facing up towards the ceiling, foot flat. Make sure there's space, so maybe move your left foot a little wider towards the outside edge of your left hip. And then left arm comes inside the knee. So you're moving forward into a forward fold, but both arms have to be inside the knee. And then come out, and when you come as far forward as you can, then you can take your hands a little wider on either side of that right leg. Good. And you can come into those spider arms and push back. So this is your chest coming forward and those upper arms pushing back. So you're pressing into that shin, even though it's pressing forward into your arm. And then either stay here, because this can be enough. Or if you're going for the bind, your left arm wraps around that bent knee from the front. Your right arm wraps around your lower back, reaching for that other hand. So you're not reaching under the knee, you're reaching around the front of the knee. You got it, Andrew. You just got to come forward more. Good. And then you can open your chest open to the right if you'd like, or you can stay forward and just really work the openness of your chest and your back. Squeeze that left knee in towards your ribs. Good. Nice, Laura. Nice, Jessica. Nice, Sandy. Good, everybody. Good area. And then slowly release. Come all the way back out. Nice job. And then lift that left shin parallel to the floor, baby cradle. So right hand holds the baby toe edge of your foot, left hand can hold the knee, move from side to side. Again, almost like you're in a seated pigeon. So again, if the desire or the tendency is to roll backwards on your sit bones to make the balance easier, lean slightly forward, get more into the stretch of your hip. Good. Nice. And then optional here, coming back to stillness, is you can bring that left foot all the way up into the right thigh crease for half lotus. So as high up as it will go. And again, it's a pointed ankle, but flexed toes. So you want the toes to be really awake. That's going to help keep the knee strong. Good. And then you're letting the leg drop open as wide as the hip is going to allow. And you can place a prop underneath that knee again to give it support so it can relax. Good. And if you're not coming into half lotus, you can bring that left foot back to the inside of the right thigh, come back to Janu Shirshasana. Good. And then either stay upright in your half lotus or bow forward if it feels like that is available. Bowing forward is sometimes a little tricky because you have to relax your right thigh so that there's actually that little crease gets a little bigger so your foot can really rest in there. Good. Nice, you guys. Every forward fold is a bow. Every pose is a bow. And giving up the idea of what I think I am for the reality that can be shown to me through this posture, through this breath, through this mantra, through this moment. What it means to be always in that state of surrender is I'm always giving up my own idea so that I can receive what's in front of me. and receive what's actually inside of me. I don't have to cling to those concepts of what's wrong with me. I don't have to. I know I'm good at it, but I don't have to. Walk yourself back up. Go ahead, move that left knee wide as you're coming out of that hip stretch, and then stretch both legs out in front of you. Good, give the legs a little bit of a shake. Nice. And then plant your feet in front of you, feet flat, hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your heels. Good, so feet should be hip width apart. Press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up, come into reverse table. Good, press into your feet, please. And feel that squeezing of your feet and your hands towards each other. And then lift through the center, long through the center. That's it, really good on you. Good, Sarah, good, Susan. Nice, Heidi. Good, Mike. Awesome. Release those hips down to the floor, please. Good. And then hands behind the thighs, scoot yourself forward, roll yourself down to your back very consciously. So again, like you're doing a reverse boat pose. I want you to use your abdominals the whole time. Don't just drop yourself. Yeah. Good. Nice. Nice. And then draw the knees in towards your chest, please. Happy baby, draw the knees wide, reach for your ankles or your feet. Keep your low back anchored to the floor. Get into the habit of not believing that the way you think of yourself is the truth. And it gets a lot easier to receive something else and say, maybe that's the truth of who I am. Maybe that could be it. Good. Cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, please. Pause for a moment to squeeze the legs in. Good. And then drop that left foot down to the floor, please. Step it as wide to the left as the outer edge of your mat. Drop your legs to the right. Other way, Mark. There you go. Good. If the knee does not appreciate having the other ankle stacked on top of it, then simply place the foot down to the floor. But try to find that twist where your feet are still as wide as your mat, because that gets into, again, that line of your thigh up into your hip and into your low back. So Andrew, just move your top leg back towards the other end of your mat. That's it. Yep. There you go. And place it down on the floor. Good. Nice, you guys. Slowly come back to center, please. Step the right foot down to the floor. Take your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Lift the legs up for a moment. Squeeze in. Flexed feet. Good. And then place that right foot down to the floor. Step it wide to the right. Drop your knees to the left. And same thing. The right knee does not appreciate having the left ankle on top of it. Just step the foot off. That arms can be wide or whatever position makes you happy. All mantras, no matter what they are asking for, calling for, is they are essentially the same. They're just doorways. And whatever your greatest wish is, that's the mantra that you are drawn to. That's the doorway in. I have to be able to see this in myself because I think that it isn't there. That's why we reach for the mantras. I think that it isn't there. So I have to find a way to experience it beyond my mind. Bring yourself all the way back to center, please. Go ahead, hug the knees in towards your chest. Yep. Place the feet down to the floor, hip width apart. Arms down to the floor. Good. Lift the hips up, bridge pose. So our elbows can be bent or arms straight. Rise up. Long throat. Good. Right leg to the sky. No resistance, just right leg to the sky. Good. Place the foot down to the floor, light and easy. Left leg to the sky, light and easy. Release that foot down, deep breath in, hips go a little higher. And then slowly release one vertebra at a time. Feel every part of your spine as it releases into the floor. Good. And then right leg stays where it is, left leg extends out. Actually, bring the right knee in towards your chest, left leg extends out. Come into spinal twist one more time. The right knee in, left leg extended, spinal twist. Good. Arm can go wide or up alongside the heel. And then back to center, please. Squeeze that knee in. And then switch. Bring the left knee in, right leg down to the floor. Spinal twist. And then come back to center, please. Hugging both knees in towards your chest. Squeeze forehead to knees. Press into your back body. Hollow the front body. And then slowly release, extending the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms up. Maybe give yourself the opportunity as you drop into Shavasana that with every breath, repeat the sound internally of Om. You have a mantra that you already use, you're welcome to do that instead. Use this as a chance to keep the mantra alive. But if not, experiment. Breathe in the sound of Om. Breathe out the sound of Om. Let that be the mirror for your mind. Gently moving awareness back to your breath. Let your body begin to stretch and move whatever way serves it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. Taking a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Hands coming to rest at the heart center, palm to palm, or whatever mudra has been serving you well. Every mantra is a call to something inside of us that we haven't realized yet. So instead of it being a magic incantation that if I say it enough, maybe something will happen, it's more of a request that it becomes the mirror for your inner self to see you through. So if you're calling for that desire to be at peace or to be in a state of equanimity, Om Namah Shivaya, may I know the reality of what it is to feel my own equilibrium, my own equanimity. If I really want to know what it feels like to be in devotion to the happiness of all beings, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, may I know the reality of what it is to feel that in myself. If I really want my mind to be a place of truly inspired thought and feeling, I chant the Gayatri Mantra. May I know that in me. And if I really just desire to feel that there's a truth to my life, Asatoma Sadgamaya, lead me to that. But it's a calling. It's a mirror so that your mind can start to experience what it already is beyond your thinking. So we chant mantra, we practice. Every form of practice that we have is for that. It's to give a mirror to your mind that is not distorted. The reality beyond the way that you think of yourself. So every breath is a bow. Every practice is a bow to that. I let go of what I think so that I can receive a reality, a truth that is beyond what I think. Call that yoga. Unite myself with something that is more whole than I know myself currently to be. The mantra, the best mantra to use is Om. Begins and ends everything. Includes everything. Deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. Until I see you again, we'll unmute you, I guess. Sorry if I got a little esoteric today, but you know.